Okay, I just want to say up front that I love this film. I suggest that you turn off this review and go buy it now. The end. Okay. I guess I can give you a little bit more information than that. This film starts with a young Ahab who is serving on a submarine that gets ripped apart by Moby Dick. Ahab loses his leg and vows to kill Moby Dick. Cut to the year 2010 and we meet token female scientist and Dolomite. Token female is doing some kind of whale science. They're interrupted when a submarine submerges next to them.
All right, then can I speak to your superior?
Captain Ahab is not feeling well, but I have orders to commandeer your equipment and your service.
Now, if you're a keen B-movie fan, you will recognize this submarine set as the spaceship set from Lauren Kenyon Stages. This spaceship set has been literally used in every other low-budget movie ever made, and doubles for pretty much everything, but the Asylum is the only production company that I know of who has the balls to use it as a submarine. Last time they did this was in Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, and the results were less than impressive. Anyway, enter Captain Ahab. Barry Bostwick gives a near-perfect performance.
You're gonna take revenge on an animal.
I'd strike the sun if it insulted me. Wait, it's just a mask. It's the thing behind the mask that I seek. Maybe it's nothing, but animal or not, I will find it.
Barry Bostwick was so good in this film, I had no idea it was actually Barry Bostwick. He totally transforms into the role of Captain Ahab to the point that the idea it was an actor playing a role was completely inconceivable. It made more sense that they just hired Captain Ahab to play himself. Bostwick is of course best known for being the wacky mayor in Spin City.
This isn't about politics, Mike. This is about taking responsibility. It's about being a man. Oh! Oh, that hurt.
Anyway, Bostwick steals every second of this film, and for me, he can do no wrong. So let's go to a generic military base for more exposition. Tom Skerritt thinks Ahab is responsible for several sinkings. Skerritt wants Captain Bland to stop him. Captain Bland has only one real reason for being in this film. That is, people need to tell him, or he tell people, just how much trouble Captain Ahab is in. Wait a minute. Was Captain Bland also the bland US sub-captain from Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus? Yeah, he is. I knew him from somewhere. Down below, Ahab has company, and I'm not talking about the USS Essex.
Sir, the Essex has gone to active sonar. I'm reading a large biological mass closing in on the Essex.
Helm, all ahead flank. Intercept course on the Essex.
Aye, Captain. All head flank.
Sir, even at flank speed, it'll take over 4 hours to reach that destination.
Those men are already dead.
Moby Dick then goes to outsmart the USS Essex. Meanwhile, Captain Bland goes to a hospital to talk to a Russian Dick survivor.
What did she say happened?
I don't know. She only speaks Russian.
На здоровье.
Despite them both being able to talk Russian and the girl not being able to talk English, they decide to have their conversation in English. Down below, Ahab's ship comes across the remains of the US Essex. Then Ahab gives a genuinely rousing speech to his crew.
And may God hunt us all if we do not hunt Moby Dick to the death.
This guy's hardcore. The speech renews the crew's bloodlust to kill Moby Dick. Back on land, Skerritt is expressing to Bland just how much trouble Ahab is in. They assume he's taken out the Essex. Bland thinks the best way to find something that's underwater is by being high in the sky. He gets in a supercopter and tries to find Ahab. He's a bit late as another military supercopter is trying the same thing. I'm not sure if the next bit of mythology is in the original book or if it's unique to this film. I like it nonetheless.
Steel was fashioned from the hull of the Acushnet. Moby Dick can only be taken by something that is touched. And this thing that's connected to them is the thing that's going to kill him.
Meanwhile, Skerritt tells Bland just how much trouble Ahab is in. Anyway, Token Blonde locates Dick via her whale science, and this leads to the only disappointing scene in the film. Dick approaches a massive cruise ship. Now, I feel the need to quote from theatre dramatist Anton Chekhov. If in the first act you have hung a pistol on the wall, then in the following one it should be fired. Otherwise, don't put it there. That is, if you have Moby Dick approaching a massive cruise ship, he better rip it apart and leave no one alive. Sadly, Token Blonde uses her whale science to stop him. The film actually takes some time to set up the whole whale science procedure she uses, but as it has nothing to do with obsessed sea captains or giant whales, I've failed to mention it. Anyway, by doing this, she justifies her existence within the movie, and from here she pretty much has no bearing on the plot. Dick attacks him, and the crew falls around Star Trek Next Generation style. Bland is getting close, and he makes it a whole scene without reiterating just how much trouble Ahab is in. Meanwhile, on the sub, everyone is popped up for a smoke break.
It's the whiteness of the whale that freaks me out the most. You know what I mean? White is for the good guys.
I have no problem seeing white as evil.
You tell him, Dolomite. See? I set up that joke forever ago. Anton Chekhov would be proud. Blam! I just went for an intertextual double joke.
He's taunting me.
The chase is back on.
You give this whale too much credit.
Oh, he's not a whale. He's the devil himself.
Ahab declines into his madness, but it's somewhat justified. Their plan is to drive Dick into a nearby reef, but Dick leads them into shallow waters, and they get stuck. Dick comes around for the kill, but Bland comes in just in time for Dick. Dick takes out Bland and goes into the reef. Bland survives, and the crew prepare to deploy to the island. Bland somehow gets aboard the sub. What, don't they lock their hatches? He talks to Ahab. It turns out that they served on the same sub from the start of the film, and that Moby Dick had taken Bland's arm. Now, you'd think for a guy that survived both an attack from Megashark and Moby Dick, he'd be a little bit more interesting. Anyway, Bland wants to take him back. Ahab knocks out another winning monologue.
And whether you succeed or fail, how many people need to die?
All of them. This whole act has been decreed. It's rehearsed by us 1 billion years before the oceans even rolled. There's nothing I can do about it. I am fate's lieutenant, and I act under orders.
And Bland turns and is on his side. They prepare to go to the island.
So keep the tubes at ready. If I fail, or if Moby Dick tries to escape, I want you to hit him with everything we've got. Blow him and the island all to hell.
I love this guy.
Made this from the damaged bow plane, sir, just as you ordered. Careful, sir.
I really, really love this guy.
Now, you see it's properly tempered.
They deploy for the island. Dick attacks him, but the crew makes it to the island. Ahab manages to both lose his leg
Moby Dick has dismasted me once again.
and become even cooler. Yeah, you better believe it. I'm not going to give away the ending, but I will say it involves Ahab and Dick in the water and the sub firing nukes at the island. I hope you like films in which not a lot of people survive. I'm pretty sure Bland will, though, because he survives everything.
Are you giving up?
No? Surrendering.
Production-wise, everything is fine. At times, the limited budget of the film can be seen, but it's not anything that you're not willing to forgive. Barry Bostwick is outstanding, and if anything, he dwarfs Token Blonde's performance. This is by far the Asylum's best film. It's a great low-budget film, it's a great Moby Dick adaptation, it's just a great film in general. It's well worth buying sight unseen.